The biomimetic eye of destruction on Luo Feng's brow could see the figure of the spiritual woman, yet he could not recognize her. This was because the insect nest master's true body and spiritual avatar had distinctly different appearances and auras. The insect nest master, Chongqing building owner, relying on the Dan Tower formation, managed to glimpse the figure of this spiritual woman. His expression changed abruptly upon sighting her. He had had far too many dealings with the insect nest master and had even encountered her spiritual avatar before. Chongqing, the spiritual woman, stood there, coldly looking at the Chongqing building owner, her spiritual fluctuations transmitting. Just because this divine Emperor Luo Feng joined your Dan Tower, you think you can ignore me? Expanding your business at will. I'm not expanding at will. It's just normal competition, replied the Chongqing building owner. My prices remain the same as before. I've merely started offering stable supplies. My prices for elixirs of the same tier have always been lower than those of your insect nest, so naturally, the parties in Yulan City prefer to buy from me. Hey. The spiritual woman looked at the Chongqing building owner and laughed, a wanton laugh. In front of me, do you think you have the right to compete normally? Chongqing building owner felt a heavy pressure in his heart. It seems I've been too lenient with you for too long, the spiritual woman sighed. That's my mercy at fault. Insect nest master, you and I are both cultivators from the source world, and we both possess avatars, the Chongqing building owner said angrily. You cannot truly harm me, so why must you bully me? Every time I see you, I'll trample over you. What can you do about it? The spiritual woman sneered coldly, her gaze shifting to Luo Feng in the not-too-distant area. And this must be Divine Emperor Luo Feng. Are you certain you want to meddle in the matters between me and the Chongqing building owner? You'd better think it through. If you get involved, expect to pay the price. The spiritual woman stared at Luo Feng. I've already taken the reward from the building owner, Luo Feng said calmly. I am now the vice building owner of Dan Tower. I have no intention of making an enemy of the insect nest, but regardless, I must safeguard Dan Tower. I see. The spiritual woman nodded. Her eyes suddenly turned pitch black as she spoke in a deep voice. I'd like to see what kind of strength you have to act so insolently in front of me, Brother Luo Feng. Be careful. This is her spiritual avatar, adept at spiritual pollution, the Chongqing building owner transmitted through voice communication. I know. Luo Feng had already anticipated facing the insect nest master when he accepted the Chongqing building owner's invitation. The information about the insect nest master was no secret in Yulan City. The insect nest master, even when she was weak, endured intense spiritual pollution. After reaching the late stage of the Divine Emperor in the Enlightened One lineage, she seemed unable to achieve perfection, likely because the pollution was too severe. As such, she switched to cultivating the bloodline system, using all her accumulations in the dark sacred realm to exchange for a high-level primordial bloodline, the infinite cicada tomb bloodline. This bloodline actually thrived on spiritual pollution. The more severe the pollution she endured while maintaining a sliver of clarity, the stronger the power of her bloodline grew. It was said that if her spiritual will could break free from the braided cage and she accumulated enough spiritual pollution, she could fully unleash the true power of the infinite cicada tomb, triggering the ultimate awakening of her bloodline and ascending as a high-level primordial life. This time, she has come as a spiritual avatar, so her methods are purely spiritual, Luo Feng thought. In the dark sacred realm, she has done everything she can to enhance her spiritual pollution. With the infinite cicada tomb bloodline, she can still maintain clarity. However, when her pollution touches other half-primordial level experts, even if they can resist, they would require a long time and great effort to gradually purge themselves of the pollution. Even among the elders, with their spiritual wills reaching the half-primordial level, many were deeply apprehensive of the insect nest master. But Luo Feng had no fear. The undying heart inherently resists spiritual erosion. Moreover, I carry the secret technique left by Senior Yuan, the Lai Yuan technique. With these dual methods, why should I fear her pollution? That would be the joke of the ages. Luo Feng mused. Luo Feng. The spiritual woman grinned at Luo Feng, her smile widening. Push. The spiritual woman appeared before Luo Feng and gently embraced him. This was the power of the spirit, transcending the concept of speed. In one thought, she had already ensnared him, her ethereal form covered by distorted, maddened faces. The moment Luo Feng was embraced, everything around him vanished. In that instant, Luo Feng saw a massive, illusory insect nest towering before him, imprisoning countless consciousnesses. The faces of these trapped consciousnesses writhed and struggled. The illusory insect nest also began corroding Luo Feng. How many cultivators have you killed? And not just killed, but actively devoured their souls, forcing them to become part of you. As he was invaded, Luo Feng instantly grasped the insect nest master's methods. This insect nest master, by choice, had absorbed countless souls, not annihilating them but integrating them into her insect nest, where their consciousnesses would remain forever trapped. Though she appeared to be a single cultivator, the insect nest master actually contained the consciousnesses of billions of creatures. But her dominant consciousness was the ruler. The rest were mere sustenance. I carry the pollution alone. How much could I possibly endure alone? So, I let them bear it with me, to share the burden. This is what I call the power of the collective. Ha ha ha, Luo Feng, now experience the pollution I endured during my infinite nightmare. The voice of the insect nest master reverberated, and her corruption spread. This was precisely why many elders avoided her at all costs. Her pollution, born by billions of consciousnesses, was far worse than simply eliminating a few avatars. What's this? The insect nest master was taken aback. She tried every tactic she knew for several breaths' time, but failed to find even the smallest flaw or crack, unable to corrupt Luo Feng in the slightest. Insect nest master, even if you persist with your cultivation, devouring the souls of countless cultivators and leaving them in eternal torment, scum like you should have died long ago, Luo Feng spoke with murderous intent. At that moment, Luo Feng resented nothing more than his current lack of strength. After all, the insect nest master hailed from the source world and possessed multiple avatars, making her incredibly difficult to truly kill. No wonder you dared to aid the Chongqing building owner. So you have a way to resist spiritual corruption. I came merely as a spiritual avatar to warn you this time, but next time, I'll bring my true body, sneered the insect nest master, aware she could do nothing to Luo Feng. You warning me? You pathetic scum. Lie you on technique, without mercy. Luo Feng struck, eclipsing into divine emperor perfection in spiritual will long ago. Luo Feng had recently gained a faint insight into breaking free from the braided cage while studying the primordial bloodline, achieving an almost flawless union, a synergy of all mysteries. His understanding of the Lai Yuan technique deepened, infusing it with the essence of natural perfection, annihilation, with his spiritual will pushing the limits below the braided cage, and his newfound insight breathing life into the Lai Yuan technique. Luo Feng unleashed his strike. A small, slowly rolling miniature star appeared within the sight of the insect nest master. This star was far smaller and more ordinary than before, yet it represented a spirit more condensed, its aura perfectly restrained. Boom! The insect nest master's spiritual avatar could not escape upon witnessing this rolling miniature star. A spiritual technique? The insect nest master's spiritual avatar felt indifferent, having engaged in innumerable battles of the mind. Why fear Luo Feng's mental attack? Boom! That miniature star struck the spiritual avatar of the insect nest master, transforming her feminine form into a massive illusory insect nest, her most stable form. Yet even in this form, the illusory insect nest was torn apart, pierced through, and crushed by the star. Impossible. The insect nest master was incredulous. The mental star Luo Feng unleashed was so small, so plain, yet impervious to resistance. At that moment, the insect nest master realized the star carried a faint essence of natural perfection, reminiscent of her infinite cicada tomb bloodline. He must have inherited the secret techniques left by Senior Jin and the others, she thought in agony. Her disrupted illusory insect nest imploded, shattering millions of fused souls within. For those souls, destruction brought not despair but liberation, their final moments marked by serene smiles, signaling the collapse of the nest's carefully maintained corrupt equilibrium. Not good. My spiritual avatar's damage has unhinged the pollution. I must retreat at once. Taking the strike, the insect nest master's spiritual avatar soared away, vanishing toward her lair. Luo Feng, you've caught me off guard with your formidable spiritual technique today, but I'll reclaim this loss. Her escaping spiritual avatar's voice burned around Luo Feng and the Chongqing building owner before fading into silence. As a purely spiritual being, her speed, both in attack and retreat, far surpassed any physical form. Luo Feng could only manage one Lai Yuan technique strike before she vanished into the void out of reach. Pure spiritual avatars escape so quickly, Luo Feng remarked. Beside him, the Chongqing building owner stared in astonishment. You defeated the insect nest master. The building owner could hardly believe it. He had only invited Luo Feng to hold the fort with the support of the fixed array, not expecting the defeat of the insect nest master. Who was the insect nest master? Beneath the three hall masters of Yulan City, there were figures like the insect nest master, master of deceit workshop, and elder Xinji. Their strength was qualitatively different from ordinary elders. Ordinary elders might reach the late-stage divine emperor through a single path, but the likes of the insect nest master and master of deceit workshop had strength equivalent to mastering to paths at the late divine emperor stage. I only defeated her spiritual avatar, nothing more, Luo Feng said seriously. He understood clearly that if the insect nest master brought her true body, equipped with multiple secret treasures, the danger would be far greater than that posed by a mere spiritual avatar. Damn Luo Feng. Inside her vast insect nest, the returning spiritual avatar of the insect nest master was in immense pain. Luo Feng had no idea just how much trouble his Lai Yuan technique strike had caused her. This was far worse than losing several avatars. The pollution is out of control. I must stabilize it, stabilize it. She could no longer afford thoughts of retaliation or concern herself with the outside world.